Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to draft a princess that bustier. So we are going to begin with a measurement. We are going to begin on our shoulder line and indicate our shoulder measurement. To get a shoulder measurement, you divide your shoulder by 2. This pattern is on fold, so mine was 8. I indicate 3. 3 is going to be my neckline horizontally, and vertically still 3 will be my neckline. It is a neckline of 3 by 3. So we go down on our vertical measurements. We mark our bust measurement. My bust measurement is 10. Yes, so we are also going down and we are measuring our under bust measurement. My under bust measurement is 14. So I mark it. I also go down and mark my waistline. My waistline is 18. Then I go down and mark my hip measurement. Those are vertical measurements and mine is 24. So after doing that, we are going to get our marker and mark those lines. My dear, if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. We have a lot of tutorials on this channel, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. In case we put up a new video, you will be notified. Yes, why not? Hey, yes, you can check our other videos, and yeah, there might be something you like. So after marking those lines, we are going to go and make our neckline. Yes, we already marked it. We are just going to use a marker to indicate it. Then we come on our shoulder line by 1 inch down to make a shoulder slope. Then we also make that shoulder slope like that. So we get our meter and we measure our chest line measurement. To get our chest line, you must get your bust line, divide by 6, not 4, plus 1.5. So mine is 6.8. So half of 6.8, I'm going to fold it into 2 and mark the half of it. That is the point I've put there. So I also mark my chest line on my pattern. So after that, I'm going to make that line reach the chest line, from the shoulder slope to the chest line. Yes, like that. So we are going to go in by 0.5. You may go in by 1 inch, but I've gone in by 0.5, and I'm marking my pattern. That is the chest line, the bust line, the under bust, the waistline, and the full length. Yes, so we've marked our pattern. Now what we are going to do, I'm going to come on that line, on that chest line, and mark my bust measurements. Yes, so whatever measurements you have when you're making a pattern, you divide them by 4 rather. Yes, by 4. It's the only the shoulder line that we divide by 2, but the rest we divide by 4. So we are going to make those points meet from the shoulder slope to down to the chest line, like that. Yes. So I'm going to measure my nipple to nipple measurement and divide it by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 7. Half of it is 3.5. So I'll mark 3.5 there and go down on my hip line and also mark it, the nipple to nipple measurement, like that. So we shall get our ruler and connect those 2 points. So we are going on our hip line and we are coming up by 2 inches. Yes. So after doing that, I'm coming on my waistline and making a dart of 1.5, which means each side is going to be 0.75. So I'm going to get my ruler and connect again those points. From the beginning of the nipple to nipple measurement to my waistline. Then to the line, to that point I've made of 2 inches up of the hip line. So I will connect to that point. So we are going to come on our under bust point, and I'm going to make it larger. I'm going to make a point of 2 inches. So it means 1 inch will be on each side. Yes, it depends on how your bust is. Mark that. It depends. If your bust is so big, you can make that wider. If your bust is so small, you can make it smaller. So on my under bust, I made mine 2 inches. The full dart, measuring the full dart is 2 inches. Yeah, so it is 2 inches on my under bust point. You might make yours 1.5, but mine is 2 inches according to how big your bust is. So again, now we come and connect that line from the waistline to the hip line. We are going to connect that dart. Yes, we are going to join it together like that. So the dart is no longer beginning from 2 inches up, it will begin from down. So those lines are not there. So now what we are going to do, we are going to come on our armhole and divide it by 2. You measure your armhole around. It is better to measure when the meter is standing like that instead of putting it horizontally, vertically. Yeah, it's better you make it like that. You measure like that. So half of it, when we measure half of it, we mark that point. So we are going to get our ruler, that curved ruler. So if you're making pattern, be sure to have those curved rulers. So we are going to make from that middle point we've made a curve from our nipple to nipple measurement up to that line like that. You can use a freehand, but it is neat if you have a ruler. So what you are going to do, we are going to also mark 0.5 inches on one side of that line and 0.5 inches on that side again. So there is a dart in the armhole. So we are making that dart. So we are going to connect that dart to that line, that nipple to nipple line, and then on the other side, so that dart in between is 1 inch. Yes, so it is 1 inch wide. So after doing that, we are going to go on the line which is down and measure 1 inch. We are going to extend that line more by 1 inch. So we are going to connect that line. If you don't extend that line, your pattern will not balance. It will not balance. It will not give you a good look. so you have to extend it. After extending it, you also come on the chest line and extend that line by 1 inch also. So after doing that, you connect again. So I'm going to make, I've made it visible using a marker. So we are going to come on our pattern and indicate our waistline. When you're measuring your waist, make sure you measure that and add it on your pattern. If you don't add it, your cloth will not fit. So when you're making it, add that. So I also added the sewing allowance of 1 inch. Yes, so I go on my hip line and indicate my hip measurement. Then I also add my sewing allowance. So I join the points from the waistline to the hip, and then I also go on my chest line, I add a sewing allowance, then join like that. So that is my front pattern. I just cut it out, and that's it. The pattern paper I used, it could fold itself. So we are going to the back pattern. For the back pattern, we are going to measure neckline of 3 by 1 inch. So we indicate that, and the rest we are going to do as before. So when it comes to the dart of the back pattern, we just measure 1.5. We divide it by 2, which is 0.75 on one side, 0.7 on the other side. Then we make the dart like that. And when we are measuring the dart, we measure it from the hip line. We don't leave 2 inches up. Yeah. So we just connect it like that. So when you're also measuring the waistline, you also add that inch, that allowance, that you add it. The data allowance, you also add it on the waistline. Yeah, so it's not any too much different. So when you're making your armhole of the back pattern, you might just decide, you might make it like the first one, or you might just decide to make it from the middle of the pattern. From the midpoint, you remember the point I told you, the chest line point where you divide the bust by 6 plus 1.5, you might just use that point and connect it to the chest line. Yeah, so you join it also, and yes, that's our back pattern. So we just cut it out. So for the case of that is our back pattern. For the case of the zipper allowance, we made this pattern unfold, but you can just go in. You add 2 extra inches on the back, and you go in by 1 inch on the waist and make it like that. 1 inch on the waist, you join from the hip line to the waist, you join from the 1 inch to the waist, and from the under bust, from the bust point to the waistline where you put 1 inch. Or you might just get that 1.5 inch. Let's try doing it here. When you're cutting it, you cut it together. Don't just join it like me. I joined it here because I made this pattern, the back pattern unfold, but you make that 1.5 inch, you add the 1.5 inch on the back, and then you do the same. You mark 1 inch in. Now we are going to mark, I did not, that point I'm making next, that 1 inch in. Then you use your ruler and join from the waistline, you join from the hip line to that 1 inch and from the bust line to that 1 inch. Yes, to make that slant as you see on my pattern. So we are going to do it on that zip allowance. You join it there and then you join it there. So you do this when this is connected. You don't just put the zip allowance as a different, as you don't cut it differently, you cut it all together. But I did not cut it all together. So in case you forget, you can cut it all together. In case you don't forget, you can cut it like that, the back pattern. Then do as I said. So we decided to cut out our pattern and it came out like that. And yes, my dear, in case you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, subscribe to our channel. So that is our back pattern with the zipper allowance. It is supposed to be cut together, please. So that is how my pattern came out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I love you so much. That's how it came out on the model. Hey, thank you. Bye bye.